What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our college football channel. Time for my Week 9 New Year's 6 predictions. And haven't made a ton of changes here, but we did make a little bit of a change, especially in the playoff prediction. So if you missed the playoff prediction video, I did that yesterday. I went a little bit more in depth as to why I picked the teams that I did, and also went all the way out to the national championship. So go ahead and go back, check that game out if you missed, or that video out, I should say, if you missed it. I will touch on those quickly here, though, and we'll start with those semifinal games. So in the Peach Bowl, one of the semifinals, Georgia versus Clemson. That is the matchup here. I have Georgia as the number 1 seed, Clemson as the number 4 seed. Both teams going undefeated, and I think that will be a pretty good matchup there. Again, talked about it more in the playoff prediction video yesterday. And then on the other side, the Fiesta Bowl, Michigan versus Tennessee. I did pick the Wolverines. Right now, I'm sticking with them to beat Ohio State. I don't feel confident about it, and I talked about it yesterday. I want to see what Ohio State does against Penn State and see if maybe I'm going to go back to lean back towards Ohio State in this matchup against Michigan. But whoever wins that game most likely will be undefeated and will make the college football playoff. And I've got Tennessee losing a close one to Georgia, that being their only loss. I think because of their resume with a win over Alabama, a win over LSU, their resume is going to get them into the college football playoff with that one loss, and I have them as the number 3 seed. So let's get into the other New Year's 6 bowls. We'll start with the Rose Bowl. So I've still got Oregon winning the Pac-12. I think they're going to win out. I think they beat Utah. They get that game at home. And then I think they're going to beat USC in the Pac-12 championship. But I don't think it's going to be quite enough to get them into the college football playoff. So I've got the Ducks here making it to the Rose Bowl. Ohio State losing only to Michigan. I think, again, you can flip these teams around. If Ohio State wins that game, then Michigan would be here in the Rose Bowl. Ohio State would be the number 2 seed, would be in the college football playoff. But yeah, I'm going to go with Oregon versus Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. We've seen this matchup before, and it should be a good one this year if they do wind up playing. Michigan also would be a good game if they wind up in the Rose Bowl. Let's go to the Sugar Bowl now. So I'm going to go with TCU now to win the Big 12. I think they lose a game in the regular season, maybe to Texas, maybe somewhere else. Maybe there's an upset. I think they do lose one game, but they bounce back. They win the Big 12 championship. I'm really torn on that. I think it could be TCU. It could be Oklahoma State. It could be Texas. Who is going to win the Big 12? It's tough, but I'm just going to go with TCU, the team that has looked like the best team out of those three throughout the season. They win the Big 12. They go to the Sugar Bowl. Alabama, with a loss in the SEC championship to Georgia, that knocks them out of the playoff. But still, they are the highest-ranked SEC team remaining, and they would go to the Sugar Bowl. TCU versus Alabama, kind of an odd matchup there. I can't remember these teams playing anytime in recent years. I don't know if they've ever played, but yeah, that would be a pretty interesting matchup there in the Sugar Bowl. And then in the Orange Bowl, no change here. Wake Forest, I mean, I feel like they definitely will be the highest-ranked team out of the ACC, unless it's Syracuse. Now, that head-to-head matchup will probably determine who goes to the Orange Bowl if Syracuse can win their other games. But I think there's a really good chance that Wake Forest is 11-1 or 10-2, and they're going to be the representative of the ACC here in the Orange Bowl. And then you got to go to SEC, Big Ten, or Notre Dame for the other slot. I think LSU would be an intriguing team to watch for to possibly get in here. But I think Penn State with a 10-2 record, they're going to be ahead of LSU in the rankings. And we'll see Penn State go to the Orange Bowl to face Wake Forest, which is what I've had really for the last couple of weeks. And then finally, USC and Cincinnati in the Cotton Bowl. I mean, really, I haven't made many changes here to the other New Year's 6 bowls. The playoff, I've kind of been changing teams around, but the 12 teams for the playoff and the New Year's 6, they really haven't changed for me. USC, I think, will be 11-1, then they lose to Oregon in the Pac-12 championship, but that's enough to get them in as the highest-ranked at-large team. I think Cincinnati probably loses to UCF this weekend, but then they bounce back, they win the conference, and they'll be maybe the only ranked Group of 5 champion, and that's going to get them here to the Cotton Bowl. So those are my New Year's 6 predictions. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports College Football Channel.